The last of the big E3 conferences ended last night with Nintendo. Now, Nintendo have a kind of strange relationship when it comes to E3. They kind of like to do their own thing. They have the Nintendo Treehouse quite often where they show stuff. I don't know, they never really seem to dive right in when it comes to E3. Not in the same way that Microsoft and Sony do. But anyway, their conference last night was only half an hour long. Which, short and sweet, to be honest. I'd rather, I think, have a half-hour conference that just gets straight to the point than, just hearing some executive blather on for ages. So, I think that's fine if they want to do a shorter conference. I've got to admit, I'm not a huge Nintendo guy myself. Don't get me wrong, as a gamer, I have a huge amount of respect for the company. They pioneered so much with video games. I totally understand why other people have a huge love for them, but in my experience gaming, there's never really been a Nintendo console I've jumped on and loved. I haven't played a great deal of Nintendo games. I don't know, I just feel like when I first entered gaming when I was a kid, it was more about the PlayStation. That's where I jumped in with. But as I say, I have a huge amount of respect for Nintendo, and I totally see why they get as much credit as they do. As I say, a short and sweet conference. First up, we got to see the expansion pass detailed for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, I'm a broke gamer. I haven't been able to afford a Switch lately. I would love one. It looks great. It seems like a massive step up from the Wii U. And I really want to play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It looks fantastic. I really want to get on that. But, I'm going to have to wait till I've saved up a bit. But we saw the expansion pass, which I believe is going for $20, and that will add two new content packs for the game. There's the Master Trials content pack, and I think it was called the Ballad of the Champions. And basically it's just going to be new quests, new items, new content for players who have already completely finished the main game. And given how critically acclaimed Breath of the Wild has been, I think a lot of people are looking for an excuse to return there, and I think it's going to sell gangbusters, this expansion pass. So definitely, if you're a big Zelda fan, Breath of the Wild fan, that's definitely something that's going to interest you. I think that's going to do very well. It looked great. It looked like it was meaningful content, not just stuff that should have been in the main game. They also announced some champion amiibos that will work with both the expansion and the base game. So if you're into collecting amiibos, they're ones to add. We then saw Fire Emblem Warriors, which is this thing. I believe Nintendo started with the creators of the Dynasty Warriors series with Hyrule Warriors a couple of years back on the Wii U, where it's basically Dynasty Warriors but set in the universe of, say, Fire Emblem Warriors or Zelda. And I played Dynasty Warrior games on the PS2. I really enjoyed them. I loved them as a kid, like the scale of the battles and stuff. So again, I would personally love it if they did something similar with like a franchise I'm more familiar with. But if you're a Fire Emblems fan, then it looked great, the gameplay looked great, and I see no reason why you wouldn't be interested in that. Then it was announced Rocket League is coming to the Switch. Rocket League is a fantastic game. I've played so much of it on the PS4, so addictive. I mean, it's, usually I don't care for sports games, but Rocket League I've spent so much time on, and the idea that it's come to Switch is great, and it seems like there's going to be extra customizable items kind of relating to Nintendo's franchises, which is great. And yeah, I mean, all you Switch players who haven't played it yet, I hope you enjoy it and find it as addictive as everyone else seems to have. Then, last but not least, we saw more of Mario Odyssey, which is the upcoming Mario game for the Switch. And I always think with the Mario series, it seems like it just continues to get better and better. Just when you think, like, what else could they possibly do with the Mario formula? They always just one-up it, with Super Mario Galaxy. And, I mean, it just keeps going better and better since the kind of N64 days. This one looks like it's no different. I mean, it looks weird, but it looks colourful and vibrant. It seems like he could use his cap to possess pretty much anything, from dinosaurs to, to whatever, to Goombas. I mean, it looks like a lot of fun. There was a great gameplay thing I saw where it's a 3D game primarily, but in the world you'll find like murals that are like painted old-fashioned Mario levels in 2D, and Mario can switch into 2D and you can play these murals, and it just looks really entertaining, and the contrast between going from a 3D plane into a 2D plane, and enemies you encounter in the 2D plane can come out with you into the 3D, and it's just things like that that just make it seem so magical and alive. And as I say, I've not got a Switch yet, and I feel difficult justifying buying a console just for Breath of the Wild, but it seems like there's so many great games that are coming out for the Switch on the horizon that I'm going to be hard pressed not to get one soon, because I want to play Mario Odyssey, I want to play Breath of the Wild, and Splatoon 2's been announced. Never played the original, but I heard great things about it. As I say, it's getting hard to resist buying a Switch. So and that was the end of Nintendo's conference. As I say, they don't tend to go all in with E3 like other companies do, but I think if you're a Nintendo fan, there was plenty to look forward to there. There was then extended gameplay footage of Mario Odyssey shown, which, as I said, looked great. And there's not a great deal for me to add there. Not being a huge Nintendo guy, I don't feel like I'm the most qualified to give my thoughts on the games and such. But as I say, that was it. That was their E3, and it was short and such, but it was better than Bethesda's conference, that's for damn sure. At least they just came out, they went, here's the games, they looked great, done. Of course, we also saw the announcement of a Metroid game. I mean, we saw so little of it, it was almost just a picture. But, I mean, again, Metroid's another series I've never really dived into, but I just hear great things about all the time. So if that, we'll probably see more of that at E3 next year. If that looks as good as some of the other titles for the Switch, then I'm going to have to play it, and hopefully that'll be my first Metroid game, and it'll be great. But so a lot of things to get excited for there. And as I say, great conference. If you're a Nintendo gamer, plenty of stuff to look forward to as much as Microsoft or PlayStation or PC gamers.